What's up YouTube, Ryan here again, and in this video I'll be sharing with you exactly what I learned after purchasing a course on YouTube automation for the sum of $297. Reasons I wanted to make this video is number one, it was very highly requested in my last video, and number two, I don't really believe in gatekeeping this kind of information. Everything in the course realistically should be free, so I wanted to make it widely available to everyone. The last video on YouTube automation has done relatively well, and if you're still enjoying this type of content, please make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm and lets me know what type of content I should continue producing for all of you. So without further ado, let's jump into it. As some of you may know, I left my job back in July of this year, which granted me the free time to launch my goal of reaching financial freedom by the end of this year. And with that, I decided to launch 6 passive income streams, and YouTube automation being one of the main ones. If you don't know what YouTube automation is, no worries. Basically just a business model that allows you to create a passive income stream through creating videos on YouTube. You do this by hiring third-party subcontractors through websites like Upwork or Fiverr or an equivalent website. You are outsourcing most of the work to be done for you. And like most of you, I was very intrigued when I first heard the business model. I thought, if I can create a passive income stream and I can do it very quickly and it's just gonna scale up in 30 days or less, why not do it? But turns out it's actually much more difficult than it seems, as you might expect. And when I first started learning about it, I just didn't know where to go or how to start my business, which is why I ended up purchasing this course. And this course, just for context, focused much more on just the building blocks for setting up your YouTube automation business for success. Focused on items like creating an effective job listing on Upwork so that you are getting better candidates. They focused on setting them up with the right payment schedule and how to automate your business and how to use Trello for project management, stuff like that. All of which I'll be providing to you today in this video. So I recommend following along closely, taking notes, because I'm going to try to keep this all within 10 to 15 minutes, and I'm going to be moving pretty quickly through each topic. And I almost forgot, with the purchase of this course, I was granted access to a private Facebook group, which in my experience, I was never really getting the answers that I needed when I reached out to the group. It wasn't a super active group and there wasn't a ton of people in there. So in light of this, I've decided to launch my own Discord where we'll talk about YouTube automation, the strategies that I'm taking on, ideas that you guys have, and other passive income streams that we can all collaborate on. So link will be in the description if you're interested in joining. I've also decided I want to start doing one-on-one calls with you guys if that's something that you're interested in. I'm happy to spend about 15-20 minutes talking about the projects that you're working on. If you want my feedback, if you have ideas you want to run by me, I'm all ears, and I just want to help and provide as much value as possible. I'm all about trying to pay it forward and putting good karma out into the world. Know that eventually it's going to be repaid to me. So if you're interested in that, if that's your type of thing, if you want help on anything, link is also in the description. Here's how this is going to work. I'm going to break down everything I learned from this course into separate categories in this video to make it as easily digestible as possible. With the first category being, what are the content layers of a YouTube automation channel? By content layers, what I'm referring to is the different roles and skills that you'll need to hire in order to create your YouTube automation channel. So what you need to determine after you've selected the category or the niche that you want to start creating videos in is, what people do you need to actually create these videos? For example, most videos will need a script writer, a voiceover actor, a video editor, and then a thumbnail designer. But not every video needs all 4 of those categories. Some videos or some channels will create videos where they're just doing a simple video on an iPhone. Say it's iPhone tutorials on how to take better photos or how to use a certain setting in the phone that not many people know about. For that, you might just need a video editor, and you need someone to record the video, and you might need a script writer just to put subtitles over the video. But you don't need a voice actor because, you know, it's typically just a 1 minute, 2 minute long video. You don't really need a voice actor for that type of video. And in all honesty, when you're first starting your YouTube automation channel, the automation part is not quite there. You're gonna be putting in quite a few hours each week, coming up with video ideas, reviewing, the scripts, the video edits, making sure it's the quality that you want it to be, until you've really built up that trust with your team and they know exactly what you want from them on a weekly basis. And in my opinion, if I wasn't so spread thin with all these different passive income streams that I was taking on, and I wasn't working my now full-time job that I just took on, I would have probably taken on one or two of the content layers. So I probably would do, the script writing or the video editing, for example. That way I know what it is I want my channel to look like, I can craft it better, and I know how to do these different skills, and I can teach it to the people that I bring in to fill that skill eventually. Just brings you closer to the product, helps you make it better, and helps you iterate quickly as possible. Now moving on to category number 2, which is how to find your team. And once you've determined the necessary content layers for your YouTube automation channel, the next step is obviously filling those roles. And most of you are probably familiar with Upwork and Fiverr, but they're essentially a network filled with freelancers that allow you to get high quality work done for very low prices. And what's recommended in the course is to use Upwork. I'd have to agree, I've used Fiverr quite a bit, but what I like about Upwork is the post a job feature. And you essentially post a job, you have people apply to that job, you're able just to go through all the applications and pick and choose which ones you like. If you don't find any that you like, then you just simply post the job again and you have more people apply. Simple as that. Here's the process that you'll want to follow when posting a job to Upwork. Once you've created your Upwork account and you've done all the email verification that they ask you to do, the first step is clicking on the button that says jobs. That'll take you to a dashboard page and you'll click on the button that says post a job. For this example, I'll be walking you through creating a job posting for a video editor, but just know that this can really be replicated for any of the other content layers that you're looking to hire. From here, you're greeted with a page that says, what would you like to do? And you'll click on the button that says short-term work. Once you've done that, you'll be greeted with a page that says, let's start with a strong title. And the title that I use is video editor for my YouTube channel. You'll then click on the button that says skills, and it'll bring you over to the skills page where you will select the skill of video editing and video production. Then you'll click on the button that says scope, where you will build out your scope of work. The first choice that you're given is a small, medium, or large project. You'll click on small. You'll click on the timeline that it'll be 3 to 6 months. And then lastly, you'll click on that it'll be an entry level. Then we move over to location, where in this case, you'll choose worldwide, but for other content layers, if you're looking to target a United States audience, you'll need a script writer that's from the States or is completely fluently speaking. So just know that in other content layers, it'll be different, but because video editing can be done from somewhere over in Bangladesh or somewhere else in the world, doesn't matter, you can select worldwide. Then it'll ask you about your project budget, and instead of clicking on hourly rate, you'll click on project budget. Once you've done that, what you'll do is you'll put in your maximum project budget of $1,000. And the reason we do this is so that it creates a job listing that's attractive for someone to apply. If they're seeing that it's going to be, let's say it's $5 an hour or $10 an hour, that might not be as attractive as $1,000. That's what you want to do. You're not going to have to load $1,000 into Upwork. You're basically just saying that this is what the maximum project will be. Once you've created the actual job listing and you've hired someone, you'll break it up into milestones and you'll fund those milestones accordingly and pay that person based off those milestones, which comes out to 60 or 80 bucks per milestone. Now for the last part of your job listing, which is the description of the job post. Pretty crucial that this is done effectively, and it's gonna dictate how many applicants you're getting per job posting. So this is what was recommended in the course and what I've been using and I found is really effective. So recommend using it. You feel free to use this script. If you need to modify it based on the content layer, just know you might have to change a few things. So it starts with this. I am looking to partner with the best video editors who meet the following criteria: video editing and YouTube expertise, $20 per video. Length of video will be between 8 and 10 minutes. 4 videos per week. Supply of paid subscription of stock footage, website not yet known. What I've found is most video editors actually have access to this. I would probably just look for someone that has access to it so you don't have to subscribe to story blocks or something equivalent. It can get kind of expensive. Then I give an example channel of the type of content that I'm looking to create so they can take a look look at it and see if they're a good fit prior to applying to the job. Then you say, I'd like to see samples of work you've done. This is really crucial. You want to see at least some of the projects that they've worked on so that you know if they meet even just a glimpse of what you're looking for. And then you can narrow down your applicants based off of that. Are you okay with the price from the description? If not, don't apply. Obviously, that's self-explanatory. Did you add samples? If not, don't apply. Do you have over 90% job success? If not, don't apply. Have you earned more than $100? If not, don't apply. Those last two examples are pretty crucial just because you know if someone's good or not based on their job success rate, and if they have earned more than $100 because that means they've been on Upwork, they're probably trustworthy. They're not just some scammer that's gonna scam you for your money. So be on the lookout for that. Scammers are everywhere, even on Upwork, unfortunately. And once this job post is done, you simply just rinse and repeat and post for the other content layers that you require. And just make sure you change things in the description accordingly and in the job posting accordingly. You'll also want to post multiple times for each content layer. That way you're getting more applicants than just one batch of applicants. So I'd recommend posting probably 2 to 3 times. That way you have more of a big batch to choose from. Once you've selected the person that you want to hire, you'll basically send them a contract through Upwork, and once they accept it, you guys are good to go. You're working together. He's your video editor, or she. Again, you won't have to front load $1,000 into Upwork. You're going to be working off a milestone system, and once they've been hired, you'll see that selection to click milestone in your chat box with them. And you'll basically just click add milestone. You'll talk about what you want done in the milestone. If it's 4 video edits, then you say 4 video edits. You can add a due date. I usually add the due date a week out. And if it's 4 video edits, I pay $20 for my video edits. That's $80 that I'll have to fund into Upwork. That's funded. Once the work is provided to me, I review the work and then I release the funds to the video editor. So pretty self-explanatory. You'll get it once you go through it. Honestly, it's pretty easy. So, and one recommendation I have, and it's because of a personal mistake I made with my own channel, is take your time finding someone who meets all the criteria that you're looking for. You don't need to hire someone off your first batch of applicants. Again, post it for 2 to 3 times and really broaden the spectrum of people that you get applying for your job. I actually hired someone from my first round of applicants, and because of that, I've ended up having to replace both my scriptwriter and my video editor. And since then, my video quality has gone through the roof. It's skyrocketed. But before that, I had a lot of issues with them. The quality wasn't quite where I needed it to be, and I couldn't get them there. So be careful who you hire. Take your time. You might think that you're wasting time looking for more people, but it's going to save you money in the end, and it's going to save you frustration and headaches. So again, take your time and be careful on who you hire. Also, you'll want to make sure that you ask them for sample work. And you can start by asking your scriptwriter for a sample script. Once you've found a scriptwriter that you like, great, then you'll use that sample to then get a voiceover actor that works your sample script and gives you a sample voiceover. Once you've gotten a good voiceover actor that you like, great, then you'll move over to a thumbnail designer. Then you'll finally get your video editor to do a sample video edit for you. Really important, if they're not willing to do a sample, then they're probably not worth your time and effort, and they're probably harder to work with just in general. So definitely recommend getting a sample, and this allows you to really understand what type of content you're going to be getting from them in a real world scenario for your channel. The third category I'll mention is how to scale your YouTube automation business. Overall, this is pretty simple, but I don't think it's quite relevant for most people watching this video. You really shouldn't worry about hiring a manager until your YouTube channel is starting to show signs of success, until you're starting to generate revenue and probably have reached your break-even point. Until then, you want to be dialed in on your business, working day in and day out, and in communication with your team members so that you're able to grow it as quickly as possible. In order to hire a manager, you can use the same hiring process that we've already looked at through Upwork. You'll just tweak your job post accordingly. My recommendation for when you're hiring for this role is to really be deliberate in your choice and take your time trying to find the perfect fit. You're essentially trying to find someone that can replicate you and do all the tasks that you would normally do as the business owner. So that includes negotiating brand deals, managing your team, making sure projects are moving forward in Trello, and effectively just becoming you in the business. So making sure you have the right person is critical. And the goal with hiring a manager is to eventually make YouTube automation automated, to make this a passive income stream. Until then, you're not really fully automating the whole business. You are acting as a manager and as a business owner. So that's really the whole purpose of hiring a manager, so that you have time to focus on scaling the business and scaling other channels and doing the exact same thing, but maybe for a different niche. Now, the fourth and last category that I want to go over with you guys is how to properly manage your team using Trello. I've used many different project softwares in the past for companies I've worked for, such as Asana, Zoho, Salesforce, ClickUp, and even others that I probably can't remember. But Trello has been an awesome project management software for what we need it to do. And the best part is it's free and continues to be free no matter how many team members I add into it. Here's how to properly set up your Trello account. Awesome. So once you've created your free Trello account, you'll be greeted with a page that looks like this. And the first thing you'll need to do is create your first board, which you'll do by clicking this plus button. You can name it whatever you like. Let's see, test automation channel. I don't need to create another one since I've already created this one that you see here. And this is what we'll be working off of today. But once you've created your first board, then you'll need to get your team members into it. You'll do that by clicking the share button. You'll have to get the email of each of your team members so that you can invite them to it. But once you have their emails, you just send the invite out, and you can only keep them as a member. So at least for the free version. Once they've all accepted it, and even before that, you can start building out the board. And you can see here, I've already preloaded this board with everything that I use on my other channels to manage my projects. But to create these little lists here, you would just create this button called Add Another List. So I've already done it once again, and I'll walk through this first video, test video idea here, so that you can see how I set up each one of my cards. So you can see here, I've tagged myself in this one. If I want to tag other members of my team, I would just simply click on members, and then it'll populate with the list of members here that I want to tag into this video idea. For this example, I don't have other members, so just keep that in mind. So once we have created this, what we can do is also create our first checklist. You'll just simply click add a checklist, and then you go ahead and you add items. I've already done this obviously, so kind of just repeating it, but it's a nice way to keep track on where everything is and just making sure each step of the process is done. You haven't skipped over anything. So script, voiceover, video edit. Boom. Oh, I don't need two in here, so I'll delete this for this second one. So once you have that created, what you'll do is you'll move your card over to the second list here, which is script writer and thumbnail designer is working on it. You don't have to have it set up exactly how I have it set up here. This is how I prefer it. And if you have modifications that you want to make, by all means, it's not a completely right or wrong way to do this. So once it's moved over here, what I do is I then open my card and I write a comment here, and I tag my script writer and my thumbnail designer. And once I've tagged them, which would look more something like this, you can mention other people, but for this case I'll just mention myself. You'll say this is now ready for you, and you'll save it. And this just notifies your team members that this is now ready for you to work on. So great, now they know that they need to work on it. Once it's done, I don't ask my thumbnail designer to do anything besides upload the thumbnail into Trello, that way I have it. But I ask my script writer that once she is done writing the script, that she moves it over to the next list here, and that she also uploads it into Trello. That way I can have everything in one place, and it just makes it easier for management. So once that has been done, I will go in here and say, okay, this is great. I don't need any feedback on my thumbnail design. We're good, script is good. And then I can either move it to the next category here, or if I do need feedback, I'll move it over to script feedback. That way I know that this one is still being worked on and it doesn't get just lost in the chaos of everything. So I'll move it over to voiceover and sort of just rinse and repeat the process from last time. I'll say at voiceover, this is ready for you. And that way he knows that it's his time to shine and he needs to start working on it. Once it's done, again, he moves it over to voiceover completed, and he will tag me as well saying this is, I've finished it. Please take a look at it. Let me know if there's any feedback you have. And assuming there's no feedback that I have, then I'll move it over to the next category. I'll thumbs up his comment or whatever, and I'll say voiceover is done. And again, just say add video editor. Your time to shine. And that's really it. I mean, again, he'll let me know when the video edit's completed and move it to the correct list. But once it's done, I will move it over to entire video edit completed. And then I can move it over to video uploaded on private once it's uploaded onto YouTube as a private video. And once it's fully operational and online, then it's moved over to video uploaded online, and this is where it sits for the remainder of its time. Something important I learned is making sure to set up some ground rules with your team on how to properly use Trello. It doesn't have to be super complicated. It really just needs to be a paragraph that says, by the way, I want to let you know that I use Trello, which is a project management software. And the reason I do this is because it allows me to manage my team and manage my YouTube videos so that I know they're getting done in a timely fashion, and it allows me to get you paid on a more quick basis or on a weekly basis. So in order for me to set that up, I'll need your email. Do you have any questions? The good news is most freelancers on Upwork are pretty familiar with YouTube automation as a business and familiar with Trello because of that. So it's not going to be foreign to them, but it's always good to have good communication and make sure that they're following your rules and expectations. At the end of the day, these are certainly some good rules and tips and tricks to follow when first starting out your YouTube automation channel. But just know that the real work really comes after you've set it all up. It comes when you start producing YouTube videos with your team and you start uploading them to YouTube and you start getting comments and you start looking into the analytics. That's when things start to get real and start to get exciting, but just know it's not going to happen overnight. You know, your channel's most likely not going to blow up within the first 30 days. If you do take on this venture, don't take it on as something you want to half-ass. You know, it needs to be a full effort, and it needs to be something that you're ready to commit multiple months of time into and thousands of dollars into as an investment. For me personally, I'm over 6 weeks now into this YouTube automation journey, and what I can tell you is that I still have a ways to go. I don't know when this will be profitable. I don't know when this is fully going to take off, but what I do know is that I'm working hard towards it. I'm making improvements with my team on my video quality. I'm honing in on my niche and the video topics that I'm covering, and I'm starting to see results from it. So that's all you can really do. As long as you stay positive about it and you continue iterating, that's, you know, what this is all about. It's a business. It needs to be treated as a business, and that's why I'm doubling down on YouTube automation, and I'm doubling down on this channel that you guys are watching me on today. And I'm dropping some of the other passive income streams I took on in order to pursue these things more passionately and more full-time. And if this is the type of content that helps inspire you to do the same, then I encourage you to follow along and grow your side hustles along with. I'm working hard towards reaching my financial freedom goal by the end of the year, and I'll continue sharing my tips and tricks that I learn along the way with YouTube automation, with YouTube in general, my Airbnb, and any of the other passive income streams that I'm working on. So, all right, that's it for now. Make sure to check out the links in the description, book a call with me if you'd like chat, and please remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you next time. Peace.